welcome Jenny. All right. Welcome everybody. And I want to welcome Jenny. Jenny is the founder and CEO of the Purée Fantastico.
Yes.
Purée Fantastico is the award-winning design science and strategy company. An accomplished goal setter and routine builder, Jenny offers an abundance of visual, verbal, strategic solutions, as well as emotional cultivation, self-esteem, and the much needed inner knowing to carry out any numbers of the large ambitions. No matter what she's doing, it can be trusted that Jenny can handle it with grace, tireless expertise, and unstoppable enthusiasm. Hi, welcome, Jenny.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You are so gorgeous. Amazing. All right. So please tell us a little bit more about yourself. How did you get started? And this is an amazing, amazing bio. I really love how you put this together in terms of, wow, like large ambitions. We all have those large ambitions. How did you start it on your ambitions, and what is your ambitions?
So I actually feel like I came to this planet with large ambitions. I was very much always that kid who, if I wanted an art project, it was huge. And my teacher would say, "Isn't that a little much?" And the dream I had as a kid, help people talk through their problems. Whose dream is that? That was my dream at 6 years old. So that's just always been me. In terms of Purée Fantastico, so much of, my journey, and I'm sure many people who are watching this journey, you try and do the thing that you're expected to do. You try. You want to succeed and make yourself happy and be happy with this. And sometimes it doesn't work. And instead of being mad, I just go, well, I'll find another way in myself. I'll find another way that feels right. And that's how I started running my own business.
Yep, that sounds right. I really love. Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, where are you coming from? What is your story? What is your background? And so we don't feel like, people like completely strangers.
I am from New Jersey, which is like, depending on where you are in New Jersey, I'm from 20 minutes outside of New York City. So I'm a city person, I'm a sharp person, but I'm a very sensitive, nature-loving person. So right away, I am a combination of opposites. Just let's get that right away. I have a background in anthropology as well as graphic design. Because like I said, my dream was to learn all of the languages. And in that, I was very drawn to culture, very drawn to art, very drawn to foreign film. And that led me into a degree in anthropology, where I was satisfied, but making things on my own, making stickers and t-shirts for bands that I loved at 16. So what do? You can't get a job making t-shirts and stickers. Yes, you can. So as I'm accepted into an archaeological dig at Chichen Itza, I get accepted into art school. And I went to art school. It was a dream of mine. And in there, I learned that visual art can be used as a language. Because of my background in anthropology, because of so much art history, it became very apparent that I was going to use design in this way. So no one understood that. I did not care because I understood it. And no one could take that away from me. I graduated art school at the top of my class, went on to work in an ad agency in New York, felt unfulfilled, was the most unhappy I've ever been in my life. And I negotiated 6 figures straight out of school. Living in Manhattan, like living the dream, completely miserable. So in 2008, when the economy crashed, I took it as a sign that I was going to reconnect and find out what I was really meant to do, because design was right. I am correct in my loving of this, but how it was happening wasn't right. And that's how I started running my own business. It started out as freelancing, and then it just kept coming. The clients kept coming out of nowhere. So
That's what means when we are on purpose, right? And you know, it's very resonates with me because I used to live in Manhattan and burned myself out living in Manhattan in early 20s, six figures, and it wasn't my purpose, the job that I was doing. How did you realize what exactly you wanted to do? As the seventh chakra, it's all about the connection. It's all
yes,
about the connection with the divine source, with the divine source through you, for you. And how was that for you?
I was watching a film. So this set me on, I'm still on this journey. I'm almost so close to wrapping it up. But this is how I started really connecting with the chakras and the spiritual realm. I was watching a film called 2001 Space Odyssey. I had never really liked Stanley Kubrick as a director. It's pretty weird. And while I was watching it, I was like in the face with the same messaging that I had done in design and recognized and completely absent from the design industry as I knew it. So I'm jumping on the couch, I'm screaming, I'm like, oh my God. And there was such a connection in that moment where I finally recognized myself in something else. And that started a research project I'm still working on to explain to people how design messaging can work, how it can connect, because we watch it every day. And at that time, the people around me, they were not heart-centered. They were not the right people for me. So the reactions that I got were, you're crazy, you're insane, that's not real. And I'm like, yes, I hear you, but no, I don't agree. I'll just not tell you. And so then I just didn't tell them, and I worked on my project and I am validated every day. Every day. Like today I found something where I'm like, yes, this is correct. So my passion to use design as a language was the path created in that moment. Whereas before it was, why don't I make sense? Why doesn't this make sense? I understand it this way. Why don't I see it in this world? And it's because I was invited to bring it into the world. So
That is
yeah.
that is so beautiful. Oh my God. And you know, guys, when you are what I'm hearing, it's like no matter what people tell you, if you feel it in your heart, you gotta do it. You gotta stay on what you feel it's true, because that is connection. That is a true connection. You know what's true for you. And you might not know exactly what is it into words, but you can feel it. And that's what I hear. You just keep
Yes.
going.
Because that, and especially if you are met with resistance. If you are met with resistance, I say trust that feeling as an innovative gift that this world does not know how to recognize, and you were trusted to tend to that gift. And it's a weird journey. Okay, I am on this journey, but it is so rewarding when you stick with it and you nurture it and you're like, you are weird, but I will befriend you, you weird little thing. And then when you get recognized for it, it's like, yeah, we did that together, weird thing. Yeah, like it just feels so good.
Yeah, so that's definitely true. It all starts with the idea, with the feeling, and like just keep going, grab the friend and just do it together.
Yep.
So how did you figure out, right, how to create a structure, right, for your energy in your business? I know you're a very structured person.
I have had to be a structured person because I am so ambitious. Because there's so many things I want to do, I actually have caught myself being frustrated that I'm not done with certain things because I want to be on to other things and I don't even know what they are yet. But there's like, I've had to learn to be present in this time. So I've structured my energy with timers, with journaling,
Mm-hmm.
and acceptance. And that's huge because if you are ambitious or you're type A, it's like, but I want to work hard and I'll just have another coffee. And it's like, adrenal fatigue is real. So then how do you structure that? So for me, it was trying different things. So all of the things I had to do in a day, maybe writing on a database, maybe writing blogs, maybe doing copywriting for a client, creative direction, like planning, like all of the different things that I do, cycle through them, set a timer. If I am bored or distracted or like, ugh, I don't want to do this, pause the timer, go to the next one. Eventually there will be a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, and then that's the thing I do first. And that's it. Like, I'm so comfortable operating on my energy and just riding that wave. I can work. Yesterday I worked 15 hours. It was hard. It was a hard day, but I'm up and I'm taking care of myself and I can do this and talk to you and
Yeah, pat yourself in the back. That was absolutely true for me about a couple of days, because when you are in flow of how to really structure your energy, and there is the formula to do so, to figure out what is true for you for daily purposes.
Yep.
And I love that I'm doing hundreds calendars for people. I can see that people we all are in our energy, but some of us, we know how to tap into it and some of us don't. And you said so well, adrenaline fatigue is real. Because look, men, right? Why men don't burst them out so quickly as women do? Because their work and the to do, it's all based on the willpower and they can push it through. But for us, we will need to just create that so much of a cortisol and focus. It is a testosterone. So when you focus, you need testosterone. So if you're gonna keep pushing to do your to-do list, you at the end of the day, that's how it works. Testosterone in a woman body, it's burning adrenaline glands. So that's exactly why, and absolutely true. So tell us a little bit more about what's the visual, right? You say you do visual representation and verbal solutions could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I do branding, logos, websites, commercials, packaging, pattern design, illustration, name it, because I'm a polymath. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter to me the thing I'm working on. I just need to know the style and the mood. And through that, it's like, okay, I got this, because my process is so solid at this point. It's why I can do the visuals, the verbal, so like business naming, taglines, about pages, bios, descriptions, hashtags, captions.
Could you give us an example? Could you give us some strategic tip on, let's say because we are going to talk about branding too, and I believe that's all, the branding is all coming from like 6 to 7 chakras. And what the best advice you can give to those who is still figuring out their branding, because it's a process. Mm-hmm. And what would you say? Like, what is the best tools to figure out your branding?
Your heart chakra, your heart chakra, your crown chakra, and your throat chakra.
So elaborate on this. So for those who are not very familiar with the chakras.
When you are thinking about your brand, I always ask my clients, how do you want people to feel around you and your work? What do you want them to say about you when you're not in the room? What do you want them to feel and experience when working with you? In those 3 things, you will have your brand. So what that looks like is entirely up to you. There is absolutely no shoulds, dependent on what you do, who you are, where you're located. Nope, doesn't matter, no. McDonald's sells cheeseburgers, so does Ruth Chris. It is all about who you want them to feel like what that experience is and what you want them to say about it. The process I use for branding is Pinterest. Go shopping. Think about the things that you like, whether it's a living room set or it's a photograph of a cow in a field. Be comfortable talking about what you like about that thing. And then like that you like that thing, or at the very least, not care that you like that thing. And then you have begun to build your brand. Branding is all about the confidence in being who you are, with who you want to serve, and that experience for both of you. Does that help? Yeah. Strategy too, that's the experience part, right? Like I was working with a therapist who worked exclusively with non-monogamous couples,
Mhm.
and she was having a difficult time getting her mind around how to use Instagram for her. And I'm like, this is the easiest thing in the world. All you do, you take two things, you add in a third thing that is different than those two things. And you're like, do you have a problem with your three or your polyamorous couple? Like you create that analogy of relationship with inanimate objects. And then you could do this at Kmart. You could do this at the grocery store. Like it doesn't have to be a studio shot. It's a very natural, fun thing. And that was her position. Her position was it's natural, it's fun, it can be easy. So then your content strategy needs to be fun and natural and easy because that's how you're going to communicate. That's how it's going to come across.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. My branding coach made me do a meditation and dress the empty room. She's like, just okay, walk into the room, create the room. And then I found on the Pinterest, that's what I've seen it and the elements of this room.
Yep.
And that was the process. Pinterest, it's always the way to go, guys. Jenny knows what she's talking about. It's amazing.
Here's the thing about Pinterest that I love, and I really do use this even for my own projects. Here is great, but it's mushy and it's ill-defined. So if you can get to a place where you're like, all right, I like the yellow of this sunset, but I like the orange of this wheat stalk, whatever. Okay, like it does not matter. You will get to a place where you will feel comfortable in your language of expression because you're beginning to recognize the things that you like and then verbalize them. And that's when you're ready to work with somebody. That when you're like, I know it when I see it, does not exist. That does not exist. It's not a real thing. And so I use Pinterest to, I like the tone of this, but I like the character of this. And then I just blend it together.
That is absolutely perfect. I love it. So yeah, you guys, do you have any other ideas on how to really channel that, right? That I did through meditation, through Pinterest, how to tap into when you are not there, when you are not sure, how can you dress this room up? Or what yellow color do you like? Or when you're getting into your head, or like this color, this yellow, or this yellow, or this yellow.
Okay, so my trick for this is print them out. Print them out and put them in random places in your house. Because you're going to look forward to seeing certain ones and you're going to get real tired of seeing certain other ones. And then you will know. You will know. Because you'll be like, why wasn't this other one? Oh, I don't like this anymore. Take it down, put in the, I swear, this is what I do. Because people, it's so subjective and so vulnerable when you deal with branding, especially, you know, a spiritual brand or a brand that is close to something that you love and you're passionate about. You want to do it the right way. And I promise you, the right way is the way that you feel called to meet it. That's the right way. And so the more that you can cultivate that relationship of like, this is what I like, yay, we like this, then you're on set to have really good branding. No matter what that looks like. Don't use Comic Sans. Then you're good.
Awesome. Let's go back to the routine and energy. I love it. I feel like I will try that approach because I have my branding done, but sometimes, you know, you want something update, up fresh, refresh. It's always work in progress. And I love this approach. I will definitely try that on. Let's go back to the routine. How you're just a queen of routines and structures and energy. How do you really manage that energy and throughout the day as you're working? What is your best tips on that when you're just starting out? What do you need to look at when you're starting out or you're building up? How not to run off your energy, natural energy?
So I would say when you're just starting out, accept everything as okay and do your best to do an observational lens rather than a judgmental lens. Because what you are working towards is what I call routine templates. Because not every day is the same. All right. Like I want to be at peak 150% all the time forever. Like, don't make me tired. I can't. I don't have time. But I don't have that option because I'm a human. Oh, well. So there are some days where I'm like, I have to be in bed. I need to have my pajamas on. And I need to watch movies that I've been seeing since I was 6 years old. Thank you. That is what's going to take today. And then the next day I try. And if I can't, then it's like, all right, I will do what I can, maybe some housework. And I just build it back up. Then there are some days where I am on fire and do not stop me. And I don't even want to be in bed. And I just accept that those are going to happen. But I've been doing this since 2008. So it's taken some wiggle room. And yeah, there was some pouting about having to take off and not working. And I wish I had done the step of accepting and, observing and being okay with it as opposed to working 20 hours a day, which I used to. I speak from full experience, everyone. I had a hard time saying no to work because I love it. It's my joy. And if it's your joy, then you have to be really, really careful and find other things to bring that joy that aren't just the work joy aspect.
Absolutely. I can totally resonate with this so beautifully. When we love our work, when we are so sourced and we are so connected through, our energy centers, our work, it's become joy. And I wish that for everybody, in the world to be that crazy about work, because I went to vacation and I was like sitting in the evening and just catching up on some stuff. And my friend was like, come over here. I'm like, hold on a second, it's just like 30 minutes. I really need to fix that line. I really want it. And they're like, are you crazy? I'm like, no, but I really want to be here with my friends, with my clients, and with my tribe, because I want them to succeed. And as you do too, when we put the heart out to work, we want them to succeed. And that's the whole work about. It's to really help them to serve. I love the pajama approach. Richard Branson said that you get to work from a bed, and that is his approach, working from a pool, working from a bed and pajama. And COVID, thanks to our circumstances, we can do this now. Isn't that amazing?
It is, and I find that when I submit and I go to bed and I relax, I actually will still work. Mm-hmm. The client project will come in, or I'll have like this really good idea for a blog post, or just passive work. It's like, I did work. I just knitted it from the bed. So it's nice to give yourself that freedom of a routine.
Yes. And today you have an amazing gift that you are gifting to us. Yes. It's a printable worksheet and mantra. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So I shared with you all the routine workbook that I used to help with my massive schedule. When I created this, I was branding 20 clients at once with 2-week deadlines. When I say I had a problem, I am not lying to you. This helped me structure my day so that I could get my work done and not buckle with bronchitis, which would happen from time to time. And this is for you to understand how you naturally work, figure out your energetic flow so that you can be your best self, whatever that looks like.
Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jenny. This is so wonderful. You are amazing. I love your energy. I love your input. And I believe the tips were just so great on the branding and energy. You are so amazing. But any questions, guys, please put in the chat. Jenny, any last sharing from your heart?
You know, since we're on the crown chakra, I'd just like to leave that the way that I approach my routine and my day, what would my highest self choose? What would she listen to? What would she eat? What would she wear? And in that, it's an easy choice to make. And in that, whether or not I approach it or I reach it, it's irrelevant because I'm always working towards that goal. And I think that's how I'm able to do all of the things that I can do, because my highest self can do them no problem.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye. Turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.